Welcome to Red Leaf for Retrocast Gaming. We're doing retro games. It's episode 123. We've done a lot of these. Joey, Colin, we're back with Joey's pick today. How you feeling?
Yes, my pick. Feeling great.
Feeling okay. Aside from having all water levels this time.
Yes, Joey, what was the theme of your
The
pick?
theme is Under the Sea.
Speak up into the mic,
everyone-
buddy.
I said the theme is Under the Sea.
It does not sound like a, what is it, a British crab? Is he British?
No British crab here. But although there is a level
No, he's like
that's-
Jamaican. He's a Jamaican crab.
Yeah, he's
You did
Jamaican.
not
Yeah.
sound like a Jamaican crab.
No, I did not. But there is a level that's not under the sea. I mean, it's in water in the sky.
It's still a water level.
Yeah, it still counts, dude. I mean, I guess there is a bird part, so whatever. I picked this because I wanted pain.
Well, you succeeded.
I had too many good games.
Yeah, over the last
So we
couple
had to have
weeks,
bad games.
I'm like, man, I could watch this cool anime that just came out. There's a lot of cool sequels. Bleach is back. I'm all excited about that. And then I'm looking at the two games for this podcast, and I went, no, I'll do it tomorrow. No, I'll do it tomorrow. And then it was October 16th, and I went, I gotta play these games now. The 2 hours was not hit on each of these games, I will say that much.
I mean, he was going to put 2 hours into these games anyway.
Not me, that's for sure. Especially,
I mean, I'm pretty
especially
sure
after
you
booting
probably
them up.
could beat one in 2 hours if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, how long is one of these? Let's see. Actually, there's a lot of different. I'll look it up later in the podcast. But I'm sure it's really short. I'm sure it is. Okay. So, last couple of weeks, like I said, playing a lot of, or not playing a lot of games, actually. I'm still very much just chipping away at Triangle Strategy, and I'm getting pretty hyped for Bayonetta 3 coming out in a couple weeks, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to
You
play.
can actually get it with the voice actor not coming back.
A voice actor getting underpaid and refusing does not impact my opinion on buying a game.
Fair enough.
Especially in the wide range of things to complain about in the gaming industry. So, Colin, have you heard of this story?
Yeah, heard about it yesterday. She was only offered $4,000 to do the entire game. That's less than I make in a month.
Right. So, yes, she was in her right to say, this is insulting, I'm not doing it. And that's the end of the story as far as I'm concerned. It's like, okay, they didn't want to pay her. They could probably get some other British person to do the voice. And I believe, did Bayonetta 3 go through like dev issues of some kind, I think? Probably. Every
I
game
haven't
does.
heard about it.
Yeah. It just seems very strange that all of a sudden voice actors being underpaid is like this new issue.
I mean, it's always there. They're just finally speaking up against it.
Right, because then they'll get like blackballed from the industry and kind of thing, but you know.
I mean, it's like a Claptrap. He gave his voice for free the first two games, and when he wanted to get paid for the last one, they just went with someone else.
Right. So you got the underpaid voice actors is nothing new. It's been an ongoing issue throughout the industry, and unless you're like one of 4 people, you're not getting paid. So there needs to be. It's an overall problem that needs to be addressed. But am I still going to buy this game? Yeah, probably. Definitely, actually.
Well, have fun with it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure I'll play it in 6 months. That's just how I roll. Anything else going on in the news world? Because that was the big one that kind of came out the last few days. At least,
yeah, that's the only thing that came to my mind.
As for me playing Triangle Strategy, again, chipping away. The maps are getting harder, getting a little bit more intense with who I put into certain battles. I'm trying to learn certain There's like 6 characters that I'd like to use, but they're not really. I don't really know their true use in the game. So I'm really trying to figure these guys. Like, one has a ladder ability and a trap ability. Another guy is like this economist, and he can kind of pay off enemy members to go to your side, I guess. All seem like useful tactics, but as soon as you get into battle and they kind of have to start defending themselves physically, it's like, uh-oh, they're no good. So it's a lot of positioning, and it's cool strategic elements. This game is really fun. I just don't tend to play it in long sessions. It's okay, I play this map for 30 minutes to an hour, and then I put it down and go to bed. Which is kind of what I'm in the mood for, because I don't know. Joey, you bought a house once upon a time, right?
Yeah, almost a year ago now.
Yeah, congratulations. How stressful was that experience?
Super fucking stressful.
Yeah.
But also, it seems like you're going more stressful than I had to, so.
It's a very bad time. I'm not sleeping well. I'm pretty sure hair is falling out at this point. I'm very angry all the time. And every single day seems to be something new with Da Bank.
Yeah, it sucks. I had everything pretty much wrapped up 2 weeks before closing. So I just had to wait until it was done.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that stage, but there's all these conditions kind of laid out, and I'm like, I don't know what this is. I'm calling, can't get a hold of anybody, and they tell me. Anyways, it's a big long story. Colin, how are you doing?
Can't complain.
Oh, I'm glad you can.
Except I'm still burning the midnight oil at work. More 14-hour shifts being thrown my way. And on top of that, I'm back to working with another driver, which means I'm back to the usual deal of driving for half an hour and then switching to go on the back of the truck for half an hour. Only took about 5 months to get back to that. So physically, I'm a little rusty on the lifting bins front.
Right.
But I've still been able to play some games.
What have you been playing?
I mean, lately, been a little addicted to Broforce again.
Okay.
Just can't stay away from that one. It's just a very easy to pick up and play game. And it's always fun playing the old 80s action heroes. I've also been playing a bit further through Danganronpa V3.
How far are you in there now?
Beat the third case recently. Now I'm in the build up to the fourth. And played Freedom Planet 2 briefly.
Okay, tell me about it. Thoughts?
Well, so far it plays pretty similar to the first game.
Good. It's positive.
Yeah. Though using a keyboard is pretty awkward.
Less positive.
Yeah, I'm going to try using my PS4 controller soon. But yeah, the character sprites are a little smaller, and the levels are definitely more elaborate. It's like the difference between the original Sonic and Sonic CD. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Seems to, I can't remember if this was a thing in the first game, but it has sort of an overworld map, so you can go back and replay levels. Just like Mario World.
Yeah, I don't remember if the first game had that or not. It's been a while. Been a long time.
Yeah. One thing I like is that Lilac doesn't say Cyclone every time you do the double jump. Just once every 3 or 4. But aside from that, yesterday my parents came by with my nephews because they were babysitting them for the weekend, and we spent some time playing Sonic Origins. They had a really fun time with that one.
You didn't put them in their mandatory baby cage while you went off and had fun?
They're 4 and 6 years old.
Mandatory baby cage.
Hey, if you want to come and do it, go right ahead.
I will shove them in their mandatory cage. I learned from the American government, after all.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, they had a pretty fun time with Sonic Origins. They kept arguing over what character to play as.
Oh.
because one of them wanted to play as Knuckles, the other wanted to play as Tails. And they kept changing their mind every few minutes, as kids tend to do.
Unbelievable, these kids. That's why you need to put them in the cage. Let them think about what they are going to do in the future.
Then they also spotted Blaster Master Zero on my main menu and wanted to play that one, so I let them play it, and they had a good time with that one too. Because it's got a 2-player feature. One person plays as the character in the tank, and another has like a target reticle on the screen that can help like shoot enemies away and such. It's kind of like Mario Galaxy with the 2-player functionality.
Right. I remember. I still need to play more Mario Galaxy 2. Still need to do that. I need to do a lot of things. I need to just make a list and commit.
Yeah. Later on, I definitely want to show them Mario Kart 8 and Mario Party. It's like, but it's funny. By the end of our time together, once the boys were loaded into the van, one of them asked if they could stay a whole week.
Because they just want to play games, yeah.
Yeah. I said I'd think about it. And then I was like, 3 seconds later, no.
No, definitely not. Oh my God, Cat. Come on, make a decision here. It's all over me.
Yeah. I'd like to play more Dragon Quest V, but I'm stuck. I need to look at a walkthrough before I can figure out where to go next.
Ooh.
Or how to get there, really.
Where are you stuck and what are you doing?
I'm at the town where you get the spell that lets you warp between towns, and I hear from the characters in Coburg, which is like the royalty area, that you need to go to like a southwestern area, but when I try to get there, it's like blocked off by a body of water. So obviously I need to get a boat or a raft from somewhere, but I'm not sure.
That sounds very familiar. I need to just spend the next 2 weeks winding down and play Dragon Quest V. That's what I need to do.
You do.
Yeah, I just need to binge play this thing, and you know what? I might get Bayonetta 3 maybe next month and just commit to Dragon Quest V and catch up.
Yes, you have been lazy.
I will boycott the game for like 2 or 3 weeks. Actually, lately I've been waiting for like 2 days of reviews to come out and see. Yeah, I'm less usually I'm pretty confident in if a game's going to come out, it's going to be pretty good. And my hit rate over the last couple of years has been that, but with COVID kind of impacting how games release and a lot of the new tactics, I'm just not confident that the games are going to be good when they come out anymore. The only one I'm convinced is going to be the new God of War. It's coming out next month.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Ragnarok, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Yeah, pretty sure that one's going to be good. Like, because they've all been good.
Nice.
Yeah, when the worst game is, we've played 5 of these already. Is this one any good? And everyone's like, yeah, it's possibly the best graphically game on the PS3. Like, oh, if that's the worst thing about that, then we're okay. Yeah, so Dragon Quest V. Yeah, God, that just shows how long I need to get back into it. It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. You might be past where I've played, actually. At this point.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Can't tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell when I don't remember myself. Is that all the games, Colin?
Yep, on my end.
Joey, how about yourself?
Myself.
Yeah.
I beat Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh.
And I beat the DLC. So I like the ending of the game itself more than the DLC ending. That fight was just so annoying.
The massive evil polar bear thing?
Yeah, it was just annoying. Like it wasn't hard. It was just annoying because ads would spawn every so often, and they would just tackle you at the wrong time, and it's like just let me kill you. Like you're not hurting me at all, but this is just slow. I'm gonna
Now,
run out of material. Here.
did you play the DLC when you were about halfway through the game, like when it unlocks, or did you play it at the end of the game?
I played it at the end of the game.
Oh, okay. So I did Horizon Zero Dawn twice. The first time, of course, was the DLC at the end, and then the next time I played through, I did the DLC about halfway through, and it was a much better experience at the halfway point where it's kind of where it's supposed to be in storyline.
Is that really where it's supposed to be? I had no idea where it was supposed to fall.
I mean, it's like just over halfway, but I'm just arbitrarily saying it's halfway.
I just figured it was at the end because it's a DLC.
No, you can't unlock it until you get to like the Sun City or whatever it was called, and then that whole area is kind of unlocked for you to go to, and then you can get a bunch of the specialty weapons. And I don't know, I really like that DLC. It was like 6 to 8 hours. It was pretty sick.
I think I beat it in like 4.
Oh, you just raced through it? Because I was just doing all kinds of shit throughout it all, and 68 68 for a DLC that was I think like $15. Not bad.
Yeah, I mean the game wasn't bad. I put 41 hours in it over a month, so not too shabby.
And the story really meshed with you. It progressed pretty well.
Yeah, I thought the main story was pretty good. So I think most of the game I didn't really have too many critiques about it, except for that like you have all these armors, but did you really need all these armors?
So okay. No, until you play on the most hard difficulties. I found doing that and going to different areas or trying to be more stealthy or some sort of play style, that's when the armors did indeed come in handy.
So difficulty I wasn't playing in because like I just kept the stealth one until I got the ancient armor, and then there's no reason for any other armor ever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. I kind of stuck with this like fire armor. I went for more an aesthetic playthrough my first time, and then the second time I played on hard difficulty, and the armors definitely came into play more from stealth to environmental advantages, that kind of thing. Oh, I'm about to fight this enemy and it spits fire. I should probably wear the fire one kind of situation.
Fair enough.
Just anything to take less damage was helpful.
It was a beautiful game, although sometimes the grass would screw up and start dancing randomly. So it was fun. I liked it. I would like to play the second one, just like the God of War game, Ragnarok, but I don't have a PlayStation 5, so I can't play that.
But you have your best friend up buying a house in Rhode Island that does.
JD, I'm going to come over for a month so I can beat some games.
Yes, I would be totally okay with that.
And Friday I started playing Metro Exodus.
Which one is that in the series?
I think it's the newest one, so whatever. I don't know what it falls under.
I think that's the one where I had a big issue with you're in the firefight and things are spraying at you from off screen and behind you. I think that's the one I had a big issue with.
This one came out in 2019.
It might be that one, yeah. Colin, did you play the Metro games?
I briefly played Metro 2033, but I haven't played any of the rest.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying. I would have to go back and listen to my review from the archives here at RLR, but I think that's the case. I believe that was one of my main critiques of it.
Yeah, I think it's Metro 2033 and then Metro Last Light and then Exodus.
It could have been Last Light. Yeah, I'll have to go back and refresh my memory. But
the only thing is, like, I'm 3 hours into this game, and there's still like a lot of like cutscenes and like intro stuff, and it's kind of annoying. I wish they would have like started the story slightly different or something instead of hey, go here, and then you get this long ass cutscene, and then you like go like 10 feet, and then you get another cutscene. Like, I just want to play the game. Like
that sounds like a modern game problem.
Yeah, it's just yeah, I know. I just hate it. Like, I hate long cutscenes in the beginning of a game because when I get a game, I want to play. So let me play and slowly feed me story. Don't let me watch a movie and then get into a game.
I thought Horizon Zero Dawn did a very good job with tackling that issue.
Great. It was great. You started as the kid. They started teaching the world as you actually played. Like, it didn't feel like it was forced. This one is just annoying and it's unskippable. And I'm just like...
Yeah, you can skip those cutscenes in Horizon Zero Dawn if you so choose.
Yeah. Or a lot of times with the chat, you can just make the chat go a little faster.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably stick with Metro for a little longer and see if I want to continue playing it.
Yeah, maybe it's a case like Control, where the first like 2 or 3 hours is just super slow and nothing, and it's a lot of just plot, and then you just get into the game, and it kind of just goes from there real quick. Maybe it's something like that.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. Still haven't gotten the Control DLC. Don't think I ever will.
I have that. I haven't played them though.
Yeah.
I think I started one of them, but then I haven't finished it.
They're good. I played them both.
You have no reason to steer me wrong, Colin. Or do you? Do you?
I will neither confirm nor deny anything.
Now he's suspicious. Okay. Does anyone have any games that they're looking forward to, like myself with God of War?
The only thing that comes to mind for me is Final Fantasy Theater Rhythm.
When's that coming out?
I think like next year. It was on the Nintendo Direct.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.
Right. The only thing I'm looking forward to is a game I backed on Kickstarter.
What's that called?
The store is closed.
The store is closed. I kind of like that name.
Furniture Store Survival. It's from with the SCP Foundation, the IKEA one. So, and the only reason I backed it because the game was pretty much almost finished. They just wanted to do a couple extra stuff before actually releasing it. Like, they've already had an alpha that works. So I was like, well, I can't lose. The game is already here. It's just going to be better.
Okay.
So now I got some keys.
Have any of you tried the whole viral thing that's going around the last few weeks? It's the back rooms.
I watched a YouTube series about it.
Yeah, same. I watched a couple YouTubers play it, and it's very wonky and weird. What a weird experience. Okay. With that, I will play The Drop, and then we can get into our topic at hand.
It's all in the mind. If you wanna test me, I'm sure you'll find the things I'll teach you. Be sure to beat you. Nevertheless, you'll get a lesson from teacher. Now kick.
Under the Sea. Joey, what is the true reason why you came up with this topic? Theme.
Because everyone loved Ecco, and I wanted to force us to play the second one.
I did beat that game once upon a time.
Then I had to decide a theme and what other game I could find that sucks. So then I did Under the Water, and the second game is SpongeBob. So just had to have a very loose theme so I can cause enough pain.
Well, I would say you succeeded. To be honest, I think all my issues with the first Ecco, I was like, surely the sequel will fix them all, and it'll be even better. And then for some reason, it came to my mind, no one ever talks about the Tides of Time in the Ecco series. It's only the first one. There's good reason for that now. I've discovered why. I figured it out. The puzzle has been solved. And then this second game was...
Hey, it was more of a game than I thought it was going to be.
Yes, that's true. I do agree.
That just saves it from getting an F. We'll talk about that one second.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Ecco, The Tides of Time. Came out in 94 by Novo Trade International. Okay.
Yes. Very common. Everyone's heard of them.
I've heard of them. Well, they're my favorite.
Yeah, I mean,
They're,
it's the most famous Hungarian gaming studio.
How do you not know that? It's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, they made Castlevania on the Amiga, Joey. Duh.
So obviously this is the second Ecco game from follows Ecco the dolphin. This game, you thought the first one was weird. This game is more weird with time traveling and morphing into birds, water in the sky. I don't know. This game is just weird.
They really went heavy on the plot in this one.
The cutscenes, though, they're pretty cool.
Sure.
The graphics aren't that bad for 94, so.
Well,
Looks
it
like
also see the key is it also came out on the Sega CD, which was what you were supposed to play it on.
Yeah, fair enough. But it looks like it has metaverse level graphics, so it's acceptable in today's world.
Sure, yes. Yeah. I tried to get a hold of the Master System version that came out in Brazil. I was unsuccessful because I saw it on Wiki and I'm like, oh my god, it came out on the Master System? That must be 2 packs of ass. I must try it. Could not get a hold of it because it came out in 96. I love the just Sega Master System essential lore that's surrounding Brazil and Brazil alone. So great.
Why? Was it popular in Brazil?
So let's see if I can remember this top of my head. The story goes is they had a Tonka factory in Brazil, and they had the license to reproduce the Sega Master System, and that's why it was things like that why Nintendo never took off as much as Sega did in like Europe and particularly Brazil. And import prices were so expensive for Nintendo that kind of the only option that was affordable was the Sega Master System. And the Genesis never... I think the Genesis, they didn't have the license to reproduce the Genesis, so they just stuck with Master System and, let's call it, deconverting games onto that system as things would come out. And people continued to even make games for the Master System just in Brazil.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing it. It's a tech toy.
Tech toy, that's what it is. Tonka makes the trucks.
Yeah, Tonka in the US, but they gave them liberty to manage the Sega products in Brazil.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. So I tried to get a hold of this Ecco Tides of Time Master System Brazil version. Unsuccessful. Very sad. But I did get the Sega CD one, and you know, if you are really into a little better graphics and music, then I guess it's a thumbs in the middle. Because you're still playing Ecco.
The music in this game was perfect.
Sure, yeah. I agree.
I was blown away by the music. Like, it set the scene perfectly. Like, that was probably the best thing about the game was the music. And the one dolphin that told you do it, and that's it.
That dolphin was an asshole.
He was the best.
Always
dolphin.
in my way. He was so much
Do it.
bigger than me. Made me feel very inadequate about myself. I felt Ecco's plight and ploy during this game. It's like, oh, you have telekinetic powers? Pfft, me too. Lame.
Do it. I couldn't get past the ring thing. Although after watching someone play it, I just failed on the last ring one time, and then I just gave up.
Excellent.
That pseudo 3D. Oh, don't miss too many rings or take too much damage.
Yeah, those 3D sections can fuck right off. Took me at least 7 tries to get it right.
Oh, it's terrible.
I gave up after 3.
It's every bit as awkward as playing Superman 64.
Ooh. I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, some of the rings move, which makes it even harder. And some are over the surface of the water without
Which is hard.
showing you that they're above the water. So you can't see them unless you jump above the surface. When you fail, you start all the way back at the beginning and have to swim all the way back to the gateway to try again.
And you can destroy the rings too with your Ecco.
Yeah, that's really stupid. I mean, props for adding something new, but just because it's new and unique doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, very often, right? Maybe not often, but there's quite a few games on the Genesis back in this era where they tried the 3D moving forward screen motion. There's quite a few famous games that do that, and this one was like, oh, that'll be really cool and innovative, and it just made for a bad time. Not great. So my issue, my bullet point issues with the first game was, of course, the puzzle solving was very esoteric. Too many things kind of molded into the background and foreground. You couldn't really tell what's what. Controlling the dolphin was ass. So you have to do these precision movement, like in and around rocks falling and enemies, and you have to jump, and then hopefully when you jump, you don't land on an enemy. You know, the basic things that pretty much makes this game playable, all had its own flaws. And surely, in the sequel, they will fix all these flaws to make it a much better game. Instead, they decided to focus on better graphics and better sound. And that was it. So, by my critique of sequels, I expect either the same game or things that were egregiously poor need to be fixed. This did none of that.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
for
right.
a time, you're invincible because you have your powers remaining from the last game. And you didn't even have an error meter. But then a couple levels in, you'll lose them, a la Metroid.
Yep, they take it away from you like a asshole, and then the game was immediately less fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only played a couple of levels after the 3D section. Because at one point I felt like the angry video game nerd going all the way to a crystal that has the key password to get past another crystal, and then you run into another crystal that needs that same fucking password, so you got to go all the way back to the previous crystal, all the while avoiding falling rocks, and it's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah. I must read part of this plot. For those that don't know what Ecco, the Tides of Time is. Ecco meets a dolphin with unusually long fins. She is his descendant, Trelia, who takes him to the distant future to speak with an old friend. In the future, the ocean has developed its own mind and is connected across the planet by waterways traveling through the sky. The dolphins of the future have also evolved, as they are now able to fly through a combination of internal helium sacs and telekinetic powers. Yes, all true. This game is weird. They're just like, what can we do to just make this game even more absurd than the first one? Because at least in the first one, everything was kind of mysterious. And you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. And the second one, they just go, everyone knows the aliens in part. Let's just make these dolphins fucking fly now.
Yeah.
God.
Crazy stuff. Though, can't say it's boring. I mean, so much shit you wouldn't expect from a game about a fucking dolphin.
I mean, again, I wanted this to fix everything and make it, like, do something different level-wise, and I feel like they didn't even attempt to do anything like that. They just wanted to make the game more weird with the story. Just pretty unacceptable to me. Yeah, I got very frustrated very fast. I'm like, this is the same fucking game. I hate it.
I'm glad you were in pain.
Yes, I was. And with
Good job,
my
well done.
high levels of stress, this did not help. Yeah, Atlantean time machines and whatever. Let's see. The game goes for about 5 hours. Sure, I feel like that's made up. Let's see. How much does this game go for these days? If you want to get it on the Sega CD, it's like $20. If you want to get it on the Genesis, it's like $7. I think that's overpaying for both of them.
It's also part of the Sega Mega Drive Genesis Classic on Steam. So it's one of the like 20-something games that's on there.
Oh, I probably have it on one of my like GameCube discs or something that I got with the compilation. Well, anyways. Emulating Sega CD games is the only way to go anyways. Because I don't have a Sega CD. One of the few things I don't have.
I'm going to pass this.
You are a liar.
No, I'm passing it.
No, Joey, you are lying. There's no way.
I could listen to the music all day. It gets a pass.
Colin, he is so lying, isn't he? He's pulling our strings.
Didn't even play past the fucking 3D section.
Yeah, there's no way.
I'm going to pass it. Everyone needs to play this game.
No.
Everyone.
You're lying.
Always.
I fail it. Easily. It's done. Forget it.
Oh. I give it a soft fail anyway.
Just soft.
I am desperately looking for optimism in my life right now.
Okay. This is not the one to do that then.
Obviously, but what choice did I have?
Okay. All right. Joey, what is our next painful experience?
Oh, yes. SpongeBob SquarePants SuperSponge. Came out in 2001. Made by Climax Group. Published by THQ. And it's on PlayStation. And I guess Game Boy Advance. This was a game.
Nothing else needs to be said, apparently.
The graphics surprisingly are terrible for a game that's about a cartoon. I don't know how you can fuck that up.
Really? I thought the art graphics were pretty good.
I thought it was terrible.
It looked exactly like the cartoon in a lot of ways.
I thought it was like a low quality version of the cartoon.
Well, I mean, it's on the PS1. What do you expect?
I mean, are cartoons that hard graphically? It's a yellow sponge, dude.
Did you know this was one of the console's best-selling games?
Yeah, it was part of wasn't it? I forget what it was. Yeah, best-selling. It was if you look at the ratings on Wikipedia, they're all over the place. It's from as low as a 36 to as high as a 79. Like, what the fuck? 2 stars, 68%. Nobody knows about this game. Like, it's just whatever. It even got greatest hits. So
I believe greatest hits is any game that sells more than 1 million copies. I think that's how that works.
And this thing just barely sold over 1 million.
Let me see. Let's see.
Wiki said 1.06.
Branding used by SCI, reprints of PlayStation games. The branding is used for reprints of popular top-selling games for each console. It doesn't seem to have
Okay, here it is. Sony introduced the program for PlayStation 97. Games who become greatest hits after selling at least 150,000 copies and being on the market for at least a year. Minimum sales required eventually rose to 250,000.
Okay, so it went up each year. Gotcha. Yeah, okay.
Slowly.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You know, back then, you kind of like I remember as a kid, we waited and hoped that a game would get to that greatest hits because then when it re-released, they would come out at like $20.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a lot of the Green Label games as a kid. Yeah. So this game is a platformer, okay? Get this. The idea is for precision jumping mechanics. And yet, their brilliant idea was SpongeBob is fucking wide and fat as shit, jumping on these platforms that are like half his size.
Yeah, and the hit detection was so terrible. You think you jump over one of the fucking snails or worms or whatever, and then you get hit, and you lose your spatulas.
Yeah, so here's another brilliant idea. You collect all of these... what are you collecting in this fucking thing?
Golden spatulas?
Is it golden spatulas? Is that what those are?
With the coins. They're golden spatulas.
Okay, so you're collecting gold coins, and if you get hit once, you lose them just like Sonic the Hedgehog. So obviously, with also terrible hit detection, you die a lot. You're also very slidey, because I guess everything under the water is actually made out of ice. And my favorite part, obviously, because everyone loved this idea too, you collect these worms, or whatever.
Jellyfish.
Excuse me?
The jellyfish.
No, that's a lie. Those were not jellyfish. You can only collect 5 of them, and those are your projectile weapons. Because you can't just hit things with a net. You can't do that.
Well, actually, I discovered if you do the double jump thing, like the butt thing, you can actually jump on top of stuff. You can't normally jump on them. You have to butt slam down on things.
Right. But there's a lot of spikes and a lot of things that prevent you from actually being able to do the butt slam.
Yeah, and if you're off by like a pixel or two, you get hurt.
Right. So not worth it because it's very frustrating. So when you put all that together, the game is an incredibly frustrating 2D platform that just doesn't work. Even though I think it looks pretty good visually, plays like ass. I was very shocked to find out you could beat this game in like 2 hours.
Well, considering I played like 15, 20 minutes, I beat the first chapter. So yeah, it's not that hard.
It's not long at all. And considering that the game goes for about $5, you know, I guess it depends how big a SpongeBob fan you are. But man, could you imagine spending $60 and the game only lasts like 4 hours? Tops. On the top end?
Yeah. No. Not only that, it's everything underwater. The one level where you're in whatever the squirrel place is, then you have to jump into water every so often. That's fun.
Yeah, the opposite of drowning. I guess it's still technically drowning, but you get the idea.
One of the twigs that launches you up didn't want to work, so I died because I couldn't go anywhere.
I couldn't get up that fucking twig either. I was like, okay, just jump, please. Just jump. I'm swear I'm pressing at the right time. Oh, look, I jumped. Oh, I went left. Great.
Sometimes one of them you just have to walk on and it just sends you up. You don't even jump. It just sends you up. If you jump, it doesn't work.
I hate this.
Well, for my money, I want to start by saying I've only seen bits and pieces of the actual SpongeBob show, and what I saw never really grabbed me. I think it was just past my time.
Yes, it was made for kids with ADD.
Just felt like a lot of the humor just didn't land with me. I think I just saw it done better in stuff like Looney Tunes and The Simpsons.
I agree.
So seeing it on SpongeBob just didn't make me laugh. You can imagine how surprising it is to me that the show has been going for 23 years and counting.
Wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very popular, despite our opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it's got so many memes made with it, so of course. And I couldn't find a copy of this game, so I watched YouTube videos. Or more like I was way too lazy to find a copy, so I just watched it.
Do not blame you, sir.
And I was also too lazy to boot up or get an emulator somewhere. And yeah, I pretty much agree with a lot of what you guys are saying. It's very bog standard platforming, although it's, from what I could see, it's pretty frustrating. I mean, with like launching the jellyfish with the net, you can only do it at like a downward angle, from what I could see.
It is terrible. There's nothing redeemable about this game to me.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, the graphics look just okay, although the character animations are kind of lame. I mean, Bob doesn't even move when he's standing still. It just stands there, you're looking all doofy. Although, the environmental parallaxing is good. But again, not much to say about this one. For pretty bog standard, kind of frustrating at points. I fail it.
Oh yeah, big fail from me.
Oh yeah, definitely fail.
All right,
This game sucked.
Game
This game was just
sucked.
terrible.
Success, Joey. You have
Which
succeeded.
is why I chose it. Yes. It hits
Seems
all
like
the
the kind of
boxes.
shovelware that they bring out for that, like at the time, like licensed movie games. It's just like the same shit, just low effort, nothing to write home about, just relying purely on the license to sell it.
Ugh.
That's why this thing checked all the boxes. One, it was a TV-based game, so you know it was probably gonna be bad. Two, underwater, so it's just perfect. Just perfect storm of shit.
Oh man. Well, at least we got some laughs out of it. So I'll just go first. I guess my favorite game of the two is Echo: The Tides of Time. I guess.
See, you liked it. Bam.
No, no.
You liked Echo. That's all I'm hearing.
It gets a D. D as in doorknob, I guess. And SpongeBob gets an F out of me. Very unsatisfied with these two games. Colin, what's your grades?
Like obviously Echo is my more favorite one.
Oh, obviously, right.
And for Tears, I guess I'd give it a very low C. And for SpongeBob, I give it a very low D.
Okay. Joey.
Echo is my favorite. I'm going to give that a C. And SpongeBob gets a D.
Oh, okay.
There was a
C's and
game there
Ds.
that was longer than 20
So,
minutes. So
You can round it down to an F if you want.
See, don't mind if I do. Twist my arm.
you have to round Echo up to a C.
Of course, that was that's what I did. Yes.
Good.
You suck. I think that's our overall worst. Let's see. I'm looking at some past grades. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. I'm not seeing anything like in the recent past that has this low of an overall score.
Good. I succeeded.
There's a couple C's there.
We had the D, B, and we had a D and C on the 112.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing a D and a C on episode 92, which was from May in 2021.
And 113. So we had a couple D's and C's earlier. Girl Power and Controversial were 2 D's and C's.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then Puzzle Platform was 2 C's.
All right.
Mhm.
So a C and an
still
F.
haven't
That's
got an
that. This
F.
is our worst topic
Oh,
that
first F.
we can go back.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've gave a game an F. Looks like really was the International Track and Field was the last F.
Oh man, and we spent a lot of our childhood playing that piece of shit.
Yeah, that's the last F we've seen. We don't really have that many Fs. Surprisingly.
We need to get more. We need more 3DO games. That'll solve that.
Oh, goody.
It's okay. So tentatively, this podcast is still scheduled. The next one is still scheduled for October 30th when we record. So Halloween theme is my pick, and I'm just doing Spooky Town. Game that takes place in a spooky town. How about that?
Spooky. I'm just going
Spooky.
to be too scary for me. I don't know if I can play it.
There's particularly one game that really caught my eye that I'm super curious to how that turns out, and another one that I think we're going to talk a lot about. And without spoiling the game exactly, I've never played it. So how
You
about that?
bastard.
Yeah, this will be the first time. So hopefully it's Dragon Quest V and only that game for the next couple weeks. Everything is tentative on how my house buying works out that weekend. Either way, I am leaving this apartment. Fingers crossed for me, guys. And that will do it.
Righty.
That was episode 123. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye now.